It's quite interesting that over the last number of years, in a number of industries, salaries have been well in excess of inflation for a number of reasons. And just in this year, we've seen a lot of wage settlements of double-digit, and we've seen that trend over the last number of years. Also, there's a number of hidden factors. So, for example, when employers are looking for individuals that are highly skilled and bring them on board, they typically, there's a hidden salary inflation factor there when bringing people in. That's typically slippage outside the system. So we found that high salary increases relative to inflation is an issue, and at the same time we've seen real returns come down. We've also seen that people are using the salary increases on the wrong things. So for example, we've seen the percentage of salaries going towards consumption and credit increase hugely post the financial crisis. We've also seen that savings rates in South Africa has dropped off dramatically, yet people's salaries and living standards in theory should have gone up. But again, this shows again that people aren't engaged in savings, they aren't engaged in trying to help improve the overall financial health. And as a result, this highlights again that a number of interventions are necessary. One of the things that we've highlighted here is that the contribution rates of retirement funds and whether they're appropriate and sufficient. And I think while salaries are quite high, as salaries increase every year, there is an opportunity to migrate people towards higher contribution categories to address those issues. So one of the interventions we've suggested is to rather have some auto-escalation or some form of revisiting contribution rates every year for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years to get most people to higher contribution categories. And why this is important is that in the current economic environment with low returns, we see that the contribution rates that you require to get to a reasonable income in retirement sitting anywhere between 26% and 28%, depending on when you're planning to retire and which industry you're in.